It sure has been a long time in the making, but here it is, Sonic Advance 3 hot off the presses. Or should I say, red hot off the presses.
Every second of this is going to be painful, isn't it?
Man, I don't know. Maybe now's not the right time for the Sonic Advance 3 video. I could always probably push it off a little bit longer.
Oh no you don't. We've been planning this collab for over a year now. I am not going to let you torture these people any longer.
But it is so fun.
How's that for torture?
Alright, fine. I assume you're ready to go then. Hello everybody, I'm Garrulous64.
And I'm redhotsonic.
And just gonna throw this out there, I was gearing up to do Sonic Advance 3 right after Sonic Advance 2, but there was one comment on that video that reminded me that battle took place between the two games. Because of that lovely comment, and then several things that were way out of the control of both redhotsonic and I, this collaboration ended up being pushed back, as you saw moments ago, 16 whole months.
Well, it gave me plenty of time to pick up the accessories to grab footage from real hardware.
See, we weren't just withholding it because we thought it was funny. I mean, not entirely. Though I did appreciate it becoming somewhat of a meme here on my channel. Now, since I've noticed I have a bit of a structure when it comes to these videos, how about we switch things up and start with the story this time? Coming off of Advance 2, some things in this game might confuse you, since much like a certain other series, if you only play the numbered entries, it's only the tip of the iceberg. In the interim between Sonic Advance 2 and Advance 3, a little game called Sonic Battle happened, and if you caught my review of that, you'd know that the story is the main reason to play it in the first place. I won't go too in-depth about it here, but the gist is Sonic and Co. meet a wonderful, perfect robotic angel, they raise him, teach him how to be his own person, and he basically becomes best friends with everyone, including Shadow and Rouge. And then, Dr. Eggman forces his base programming back to the surface, and Sonic has to fight Emerald to the death, lest the world be put in peril, the likes of which it had never seen before. So after building up this wonderful character and having him form unbreakable bonds with the cast, he's gone. And at least in my eyes, it's one of the saddest moments this series has to offer. And then, just like in Adventure 2, where Eggman flaunts the corpse of Gamma around like it ain't no thing, the good doctor shows up to the party with this new robot, Gemerald, who, if you didn't notice, bears a striking resemblance to our dearly departed friend. Eggman went and built a new robot using the data that Emerald acquired during his brief life, and now he's using that against all the people he cared about, aside from Shadow and Rouge, since they decided to conveniently not show up for this outing. Kind of a missed opportunity, in my opinion. So yeah, it's times like these where I'm reminded that Eggman is a heinous psychopath that has no problem ripping out the hearts of his foes and dancing on them as they watch.
Meh, don't worry, because except for the mini-battles with the cyborg, he doesn't pose too much of a threat in the main story. And when I say story, I mean there really isn't much of a plot. Eggman has an emerald, Sonic and Tails do not like that one bit, the duo runs into action while showing a bit too much of their behind, and stops the madman from acquiring the ultimate power. Done. So, how does the adventure begin? Well, with the introduction to a hub world, of course. Now, I'm not a fan of hub worlds. I rather just get straight to the point as it does in prior advanced games, but it's not too hard to navigate the locations of the acts. These areas exist because you can find portals to mini-games, or if you're lucky, a missing Chow, but we'll get to that later. The mini-games consist of destroying badniks or opening egg prisons as fast as you can. It's just an opportunity to possess more lives for your main journey. There's a big ring located at the entrance of each hub world, which gives you the freedom to check your progress, such as how many chows or emeralds you've collected. You also get to change your characters here. Note, I said characters, as this game introduces a tag team feature. Firstly, pick the protagonist you want to control, and then a sidekick to aid you in multiple ways. And this isn't simply a follower like the classic days, each partner has their unique uses.
If you pair up Sonic and Tails, Sonic plays exactly like he should, and the opposite is also true for Tails. The problems arise when you pair up Sonic with literally anyone else. Instead of just changing the special action like they should have done, the main character's moveset changes in its entirety. If you pair up Sonic and Amy, Sonic looks all upset on the character select screen, but it's not because he has to hang out with Amy, It's actually because he becomes just as terrible as Amy was in Sonic Advance 1. And on the flip side, Amy actually gets better if she's the primary character in the pair, so honestly, it's a bit of a mixed bag. Not gonna mince words here, the only pair worth playing as is Sonic and Tails, and everyone else is either terrible or unnecessary.
I have a feeling you're going to get some comments about that one.
Another great example of this is if Red and I were selected as a pair, he might be able to make more puns than normal, but he also might lose 90% of his attention span.
What?
Hey, don't worry about it.
Depending on your sidekick, your main player can do different techniques while airborne by tapping the R button. They can perform a swirl boost, a slam attack, or a desperate grab for more airtime. You can perform these off of springs, from launchers, and you can even do this in multiplayer.
Red, wait, think about the repercussions.
Whoa! Did that actually work?
Do you have any idea how expensive a plane ticket home is going to be? Speaking of the multiplayer, this game joins the rank of the Sonic games that allow a second player to join in on the action. More impressive than that though, this is the only title I know of that actually gives player 2 their own screen, much like Sonic 4 Episode 2 should have done, since what's the point of having official online multiplayer and 2 screens if you don't use both screens? Questionable decisions, thy name is Sega.
And now that you know how the game plays, what do you say we discuss the stages we'll be attempting within Sonic Advance 3?
Alright, cool, great idea. Why don't you go ahead and start us off?
Oh, great, thanks. Trust you to give me the... Wait, this isn't a Green Hill lookalike. We've been honoured with a totally original level? It's a miracle! We've been thrown into a city which appears to be under construction given the amount of girders, corkscrews, pulleys and hazardous blocks about. Even the grind rail appeals to the aesthetics, which while we're here, you can now start to scrape along these bars from any point along its path, rather than being forced to start from the beginning. While there are definitely plenty of chances for platforming, a lot of speed can be picked up within this stage, giving you the feeling that this is a Sonic game indeed. This zone has a lot of wide open areas too, to demonstrate that the physics have been tweaked since its precursor. Compared to that, air resistance has been dramatically decreased, which at first, it did throw me off, but I got used to it pretty quickly, and I actually ended up appreciating it. I was speeding along these acts without much issue, and then I got to the boss act, which consists of a very easy battle with G-Mel, as he hasn't learned a damn thing yet. And then you get to the main event, Dr. Eggman. Pretty easy stuff. He tries to slam you, you move as he's about to attack, slap him a few times, he's toast.
Wow, Red, your footage looks really good. What emulator are you using?
Emulator? This is real hardware, mate. Well, technically, using the Game Boy player with Extrem's interface, captured 6 times its native resolution at an integer scale, while using my Game Boy Advance as the controller, this is the ultimate way to enjoy any Game Boy Advance game. How about you, Garrulus?
MGBA? Dips must have really gotten an earful about their lack of fulfilling the Green Hill quota in Sonic Advance 2, so here we are in Sunset Hill Zone. Not sure if it's Green Hill when the sun's getting ready for a snooze, or a totally different location that perpetually exists at sunset, but we do get a bumpin' remix of the original Green Hill theme that only gets better as the acts go on. It's in this stage that the signature Dimp's Bottomless Pit obsession returns in full force.
There's a lot of pits here, so
Oh good.
beware. What did I just
I
say?
found one!
What did I just say?
I hate this! This is
That's one for the bloopers.
God. And I think my thoughts while playing the game sum up my feelings towards this pretty well. Like, after playing Mania, like a really solid 2D Sonic game, like, seeing so many bottomless pits in older Sonic games is just real sad. There are plenty ways to punish the player for messing up aside from straight up killing them.
Again, that's your own fault.
Why is there a pit there, though? After all, wasn't that the point of the lower paths in the classic Sonic games? Other than the pits, this stage reinforces the, for lack of a better term, weird level design. After playing this whole thing, it sort of feels like a fusion of Advance 1 and Advance 2, which makes it really hard for it to stand on its own, and it ends up feeling awkward as a result. At the end of Act 3, Gemerald squares up again, and the battle is almost exactly the same, aside from it getting a little bit harder. Get used to this setup, since you'll be refighting this guy a ton. Not sure why he's in Act 3 this time, though, since usually he's in the boss act. After taking out your frustrations on that faker, Knuckles drops down from the nest he no doubt built himself in the palm trees right above the battlefield and decides that now it's time to help. Thanks for stepping in when we needed you most, pal. Now, the real boss of this zone seems like it wouldn't be too much trouble. Tails, could you get that ring? No? Okay, we're dead.
Nope, you're dead.
Yeah, we're dead.
I mean, go Garrus, I have complete faith in you. You're dead.
I was like, nice, he's gonna come charging down any second now. Here
I saw that coming.
Unless, of course, you're me, in which case, you got no chance. In actuality, though, it's easy to bully the heck out of this boss, and it poses virtually no threat whatsoever. Alright, Red, tag back in. I really think we're on a roll with this one.
Well, I'm not sure how we managed to roll into Eggman's ocean base, but I don't appreciate being unfairly squished within 30 seconds of playtime. Then we have the Sandopolis Sandfalls to climb. I'm not going to lie, I'm not fond of this stage. There are too many chances of getting flattened, and a fair few waiting games to play on these scripted platforms. While I admit there are some locations to have a good run, the pace has conclusively dropped from here. It's all touch and go. With the slides and even water being present, this place is just too dreary for me. I know, that's the point within Eggman Space, and I have no complaints at the graphical presentation, but I just wanted to get out of here. When you do get to the scientist, I don't get his plan here. He hovers over you and then drops down to say hi, where you get to hit him. That's it. On the odd occasion, he'll close his claws and produce a hurtful wave along the floor, but he didn't do that once when I went against him. I guess the RNG was on my side. If I can give one positive note, the music to this level is bumping, especially Act 2. I could listen to that with my earphones all day.
Yeah, hi, this is what it's like for a first-time player. Just gonna drop this right here real quick. Oh. Jesus, Dip, stop! Come on! I can only take so much of this stuff!
You were just begging
God, are you fucking kidding me, dude? I can't believe what just happened! That was like 3 close calls in a row! I don't know what my thought process was, but they sure do toy with you in this game, and oh, actually, that's a really great segue. Toy Kingdom feels like they wanted to do Music Plant again, except they forgot to make it fun. It's a mess of weird gimmicks, bottomless pits, blocks that'll crush your dreams, and tails, and these elephant slides. Wait, so if I just let it go, it just does it?
Yeah.
Dude, this is fucking stupid!
Good boy.
They really liked these elephant slides. Visually, of course, it's a great change of pace from the last 2 zones, but gameplay is the thing that matters most to me, and it was slow and boring with only occasional glimpses of fun buried behind confusing level design and gimmick overload. I think that sentence actually describes how I feel about a majority of the game now that I think about it. The boss of this zone is one of those things that I won't soon forget, but not because it was a good time. Please just tell me. Are you? Why is there a pit there? You've gotta be fucking kidding me.
Get to the boss. Nice.
Look at him looking at me. He's like, oh, it worked. I might make a save state here so I don't have to get the game over again.
Oh, no.
I don't...
Yeah, make save states. Do yourself a favor. Make save states.
I'm gonna cry. On the contrary, the Jack-in-the-Box boss is at least unique, if you think recycling the Ghost Pot boss from Yoshi's Island is unique, that is. Every time you hit it, it gets pushed backwards until it falls into the pit on the other side of the arena. The problem I had with this one was more of a personal issue. It was just taking too long, so I'd get impatient and then end up getting myself killed in stupid ways. I hope so.
You absolute plonker.
I thought I had a lot more space than that. This is one of those instances where it's definitely not a bad boss fight, I'm just a bad player. That's not to say that the game doesn't have some questionable design choices though, specifically with badnik placement. I'm sure redhotsonic has something to say about that.
Chill out, G. Let's cool things down as we talk about, good lord, what is happening here? It's Twinkle Snow, of course, with the Northern Lights putting on a show. While the foreground has more crystallised stones and ice blocks about more than snow, I didn't find this stage to be all that bad. It relieves all the frustration I've had up until now with its calming yet upbeat music, though momentum has also picked up here, while still balancing the number of rails, dash hoops and platforms. Oh, and there's water. Again. I really did not enjoy that badnik placement while I was trying to gasp for air. Thanks for that! I don't ever remember these bad enemy placements 16 years ago. And then there's the boss. Now, the premise is very simple. Climb the tower and make the platforms bonk Eggman on the noggin, all while very occasionally avoiding the good old spike ball on a chain move. Classic. There's just one tiny issue here. Make one mistake and you're dead. The bottomless pit is always under you.
This boss cost me 20 minutes of my life, and then I watched Red beat it first try in less than 30 seconds. I know we previously established that I'm bad at this game, but this boss still sucks, and I am not budging on that one. No, Sonic, please! I was so close! And another thing, I love it when Sonic Team brings in these cyber aesthetic levels, but this has to be one of the worst looking ones by far. The foreground is passable, it just really looks like a generic techno level, but the background doesn't even look finished. Or actually, it looks like if I scanned it with a barcode reader. Huh, who would have thought? Not me, I totally love this game. As a first-time player, this stage was the only instance where I actually changed my character combination. Using Tails and Sonic, I tried to make the stage as easy as I could for myself, but thanks to its slow gimmicks and confusing design yet again, it still took forever to get through. You just get thrown around the stage using these futuristic Donkey Kong Country barrels so often that none of the level leaves an impact, and it's always hard to tell where you're supposed to go next. Also, there's a bit here with these moving platforms that you need to activate and keep track of, and all I could think of was that one level from Super Mario World, and it wasn't even a good level in that game, so not an awesome place to draw inspiration from. And the boss? Oh my god, the boss. It reminds me a little bit of the first boss of the old and inferior Crash Bandicoot 4, where you had to hit the stones so they'd attack Crunch. Except in this fight, you only need to reflect one back at the Mad Doctor to deal damage. The problem with that is, he moves just fast enough so that you have to dance revolution around the entire platform like an idiot hoping to get a hit on him. These platforms on the sides might also get you killed because of your partner too, since if you stand on them for a second, they plunge you into the pit below, and your partner can also trigger them. I had a heart attack because of this when I finally beat the boss, since I landed on one of the platforms, and I'll just let this clip speak for itself. No, please, don't, please don't, please don't, please do not die, please. The amount of stress this game gave me during my playthrough is ludicrous. But as we've seen, this game can either be your angle or your devil, but in this case, I guess it'd be your chaotic angle. God, I'm so tired of it. Red, just talk about this so it can be done. I'm sick of this game's bullshit.
Ah, my favourite zone. Why, you ask? I don't know actually, but I loved it back in the day that I even put it in my own ROM hack, Sonic 2 Recreation. I even mimicked the Act 3 travel platform, which I still love that idea to this day. As long as you know when to jump, you'll be alright.
Yet another Mario-y gimmick tossed into the game. I'm pretty sure they used this trope at least one time in every single new Super Mario Bros. Game.
Nonetheless, it's a welcome relief over Act 1 and 2 to be honest. Oh goodness, Act 1 and 2. Prepare to go up, down and all around with plenty of hazards, stupid badnik regions, multiple crushing walls, collapsing platforms, death pits, it's all here folks. And you'll be experiencing this for around 5 minutes on both acts. Joyful. These ancient ruins will give newcomers nightmares for weeks. But yet again, all is forgiven for its kick-ass melody, especially Act 3 with its tempo and bass. It's serious stuff. The boss here has changed its hitbox and is the only boss where you actually have to hit G-Mel to cause damage. Doing so will fling Eggman to the spikes hidden off screen. It took me a while to figure that out, but otherwise it's pretty easy. Right, Garrulus?
Yeah, I totally didn't have trouble with this one too. I'm at least glad that they ditched the constantly moving bosses from SA2 for these stationary ones, but damn, first time through, they are less than a doozy. Watching Red play this game makes it very clear he's played it dozens of times before, because every issue I'm seeing as a new player is almost non-existent. But my stance on that is if I didn't enjoy it the first time, I'm not gonna waste more time playing it so that I can get good. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. The game should have just been designed better, like, you feel it? And that's all the levels, and I wish we were done, but we're not because Chaos Emeralds. But Dylan, I hear you say, I haven't seen a single special spring, medal, or anything. How do you access the special stages this time? Well, dear viewer, I am so sorry to have to deliver the bad news, so I won't, and instead I'll let RedHotSonic from the past do it. Can't blame me now.
You gotta find all the chow. There's 3 in each act. Act 3 and 1, 3 and 2, 3 and 3. And then there's 1 in the warp room, once you get all 10. Then you gotta do any other act again, find the key. Then once you grab the key, you go into the warp room and you find the spring, which unlocks the spring, and then you try the special stages. It's the shittest way I've ever done it. You thought Sonic Fans 2 was bad for getting the special stages, they just made it even worse.
I can't believe what you just said just now. That sounds
I hope you recorded my voice, just put that in there as it is.
Now, I don't think I need to tell you why that's stupid, but I will anyway. First off, if you don't find the levels enjoyable, you're not going to want to look high and low for these little lost smurfs. Second of all, there are way too many chow to find on top of having to find the key afterwards. Third, the game doesn't tell you how to do this, and I know the classic games don't fill you in on this either, but with this many steps, there should definitely have been something in-game to explain it to you without having to check the manual. And finally, the only thing you get for this is access to the final boss and this little pointless chow garden-like area where you can see all the chow you found. It's not worth it. This game is just a giant medley of terrible decisions, and I'm sorry if you don't like hearing that, but I don't understand how they could have been this obtuse while designing this game.
Well, if I can say one positive, is that once you found a chow, he's yours for good. You don't have to find them all in one go, and you can even turn off the handheld and find the rest another day if you like, which means, in a way, it adds more playability to the game. This also applies to the keys. Once you have it, it's yours until you use it. And when you do unlock the spring, you get sent inside some dome arena or something. I don't know. I assume the floor is made of lava also, as your partner will pilot the tornado, while you avoid bombs and collect the specified ring quota to obtain the gem. You know, your typical rule set for Sonic special stages. Find all 7 Chaos Emeralds, and you get to become super annoyed that you still can't be supersonic in the levels. Was it really worth that effort? Well, if you want the true ending, then that's what you're going to need to do. G-Mel learns a thing or two from Knuckles and knocks all of the emeralds out of Sonic's pocket to become Dispenser G-Mel. Seriously, I'm not sure what he's meant to be. Sonic then magically tells the emeralds to come back and obtains their positive power to become super, and then he and Eggman form an alliance to give chase. Non-aggression. Quite a suitable name actually, I'll give him that. While G-Mel tries to zap and slap you, Sonic charges Eggman's pod with an energy punch to wake up the boss. With his eye wide open, just dash into him with Sonic, and after several hits, G-Mel goes down like a bag of sugar.
The fight really wasn't that bad. I always like me a good hero and villain team-up, and this is no exception. Honestly, I hope Eggman was really embarrassed having to work with Sonic like this. Serves him right for flaunting Emerald's doppelganger around like that. After Sonic and Eggman defeat Gemerald, he falls back down to Earth, and something mysterious happens to Sonic. Suddenly, he's back on the planet's surface, totally unconscious, surrounded by his friends. As he wakes up and everyone celebrates, Eggman can be seen flying away in the background. They don't flat out explain what happened, but my theory is that Sonic might have reverted back from his super form early, and being regrettably thankful for Sonic's help in defeating his rogue robot, Eggman delivered him back down to the surface safely before making tracks for his base. I'd say maybe he isn't such a bad guy after all, but he's still responsible for Emerald's death, so I cannot give him a pass.
You're really hung up on that, aren't you?
He was a perfect metal cinnamon roll that did not deserve what he got. At least Gemerald ends up getting reprogrammed by Tails in the end. He's not the same robot he used to be, but perhaps someday Emerald will find his way back. After all, Sega hasn't forgotten about him. He's made appearances in both Archie Sonic and IDW Sonic, and I can already see some of his old self shining through. Well, I think that just about covers it, right? Last thoughts on this one? I know y'all were waiting a really long time for this video, and I'm sorry if it's not the opinion you wanted me to share, but I can't just look past all the flaws this game has. On top of that, I really wish they had gone more in depth with the story with this one. Being a direct sequel to Sonic Battle, there is so much they could have explored and included. At the end of the day, the only saving grace I had for this entire playthrough was that it was a lot of fun to play the game alongside my friend Red. He hadn't asked me to do this collab last March. I don't know if I would have even been able to finish the game without flat out wanting to quit. So I really appreciate you coming along on this adventure with me, buddy. It was a great time despite how stressful the playthrough was.
Aw, thanks mate. And I was really looking forward to reliving this game again, as I loved it back in the day. But as I've matured and experienced the game another time round, it has really opened my eyes to the questionable amount of enemy placements. I don't ever recall bumping into so much peril as I did in my childhood, and to me that's the biggest letdown, as it breaks its velocity.
Well, it's finally done, so I mean, geez, it feels like a weight's been lifted off my shoulders, and you know, now that I'm here, would you mind if I put something on your letterboard real quick?
Fine, just this once though.
Rad. Alright, close your eyes.
Do you want to slap?
I sense that I might have overstayed my welcome, so I gotta go.
Yeah, and I'm going to destroy this so I don't ever accidentally call you here again. Ugh.
Gee, okay, I hope that was worth the wait. If you liked the video and you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe, click the bell, follow my Twitter, and join the Discord for more Sonic reviews and other things that aren't Sonic reviews, because we do a lot of things. Also, remember to do all of those things for redhotsonic as well. All of his social medias and channel can be found in the description.
Yes, thank you ever so much for having me on. I also feature a few Sonic reviews on my channel, but the biggest series is called But Does It Work on Real Hardware? It's where I try people's ROM hacks or official prototypes on the consoles they were designed for. Everyone has an emulator at their disposal, but do you know if Sonic Megamix, Sonic Classic Heroes, or any of the Sonic Extreme prototypes work on the original hardware? That's my job to present to you guys.
With that, I'd also like to thank my current supporters, who are Luigi Fanman 2, Sonic Channel 182, Sonic Vids YT, Common CJ, Danny Dauber, Mike TGC, Michael Eversfield, Raiden Still Plays, Chaosk, Cosmic Mushroom, Chaotic Mercenary, Ty Little Tech Guy, Jaded Indolent, Jeremy, Lucas Tallman, Mega Trafficone, Crystal, and Rob Morrison on Patreon. And this week, if you're among these awesome people, you'll get access to a special highlight reel of our entire Sonic Advance 3 playthrough. See, the little clips that were shown in the video are actually a part of that, so there's a lot more where that came from. Usually I put up a bloopers episode, but this is basically that, except it's going to be a lot longer this time. All you gotta do to see this is become a member or a patron of my channel or redhotsonic's channel, because he will be watching it with his supporters in a VC on his Discord sometime soon. Keep an eye on his Discord for that, and my own, since I might try to do something similar. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Take care everyone!